Alright you lot, some Twitter mastermind just called Splitgate AAA. No joke, a studio built sequel. Yeah, real office, proper staff, bit of funding, but still no publisher, no leash. No exec from EA whispering monetization ideas through a Teams call. That's not AAA, that's indie, with legs. If that's AAA now, then I'm bloody Ubisoft roadmap. Shiny at top, all underneath, and destined to crash before Christmas. And before some blue check DevRel tries to clap back, yeah, Splitgate 2 had issues. Yeah, launch was spicy, but this ain't about defending code. This is about understanding difference between budget and ownership, between funding and control, between making a game and being allowed to make your game. Like, subscribe and all that bollocks if you're tired of devs redefining terms to dodge accountability. Let's dig into the tweet that lit this whole argument on fire. So I dropped a tweet. Just a taster, a sliver of truth with a side of vinegar. One of those little shots you send out into the void thinking maybe a few folk will nod. Maybe someone will get it. It wasn't a rant, wasn't bait, just a clip. A tiny well-seasoned morsel about Splitgate 2 and nonsense criticism it keeps catching like it deserves to be stoned in town square after having audacity to innovate. Cause here's the thing, people treat Splitgate like it was supposed to be spiritual successor to Halo, Call of Duty, Portal and Apex all in one, coded by 7 Jesuses and GPU blessed AI. When it dared to be something else, something with its own flavour, text turned sour. That tweet, it were a mirror, and someone with a very loud opinion didn't like what they saw. Enter JaysLogic. Solo dev, big chip, swinging in like it's been waiting to unleash that text since Splitgate 1 hit open beta. He called Portals a gimmick, said maps felt bland, claimed game's soul died with Battle Royale, like it personally wronged him in a past life. That's not feedback, that's projection. That's years of coding alone and mistaking personal taste for universal truth. He didn't come in for a chat, he came in like a man convinced things already in coffin and he's just here to hammer in nails with his hot tech hammer. I liked his comment anyway, out of courtesy, and cause I knew exactly where it were going. Dev brain in public, mate. It always gets messy. So I hit him with reason, not rage, not sarcasm, just a dose of reality. Reminded him that Splitgate actually did raid, clean gunplay, smart movement, only arena shooter in years that didn't feel like it were glued together from Unreal Engine tutorials and false nostalgia. And that's when Jays pivoted. Not to reflect, not to rethink, to double down. Started throwing around terms like standardised FPS expectations, like he were pitching to a focus group. Called Battle Royale tone deaf, as if Splitgate tried to Fortnite itself into irrelevance and missed. Real moment was when he tried to tell me what indie means. That's when it stopped being a disagreement and became a full-blown miseducation. So now, we break that down with receipts. He tried to tell me Splitgate wasn't indie, cause it looked too good, cause it had money behind it, cause in his mind indie means broke, sad, built in a shed with a toaster for a dev kit. Classic myth. If it has polish, if it has marketing, if it's not crashing every 5 minutes, then it must be AAA, right? Nah mate, indie into vibe, it's not how many people you've got on payroll or how shiny your HUD is. It's control, it's ownership. It's whether you answer to a publisher who treats your roadmap like a spreadsheet and your art like a time slot. 1047 Games built Splitgate. They're scaled, they got funding, they hired talent, but at no point did they hand keys to a corporate leech with an IP clause and a monetization quota. No one forced them to add a battle pass. No one told them what engine to use. No one said, hey, you need a sequel with loot tiers and a mascot by Q4. They called shots. That's indie. AAA? That's when those shots come from upstairs, from people who haven't touched the game since Minesweeper but still think your gun needs more engagement synergy. So no, Jays, you don't get to call something AAA cause it hurt your nostalgia. You call it AAA when it stops being theirs and starts being theirs. Now this is where Jay pulled what he thought were a trump card. He posted screenshots, articles, headlines from 2021 shouting about 1047 raising $100 million, like that were a checkmate. Like he'd just uncovered an Illuminati of shooter development and Splitgate was secretly a front for Tencent. It's problems, sunshine. Raising money ain't selling your soul. 1047 didn't sign with EA. They didn't get bought by Microsoft. They didn't even take publishing offers. They raised venture capital. That's business. That's how you get servers up and running and not crash every time a Twitch streamer breathes. VC money don't dictate content. It don't come with a producer telling you how to monetize a ping system. Investors bet on your success. They don't build your game, brand your game, or own your game. That's what separates funding from control. And if you can't tell the difference between "we got cash to grow" and "we now belong to Ubisoft," then maybe shut hell up about industry labels until you can read a cap table. Then, like a dev caught in a bad UI and worse ego, he dropped all this deflection in book. Maybe QA testers were just bad. That's not a tech. That's a cry for help dressed as a scapegoat. That's what you say when your back end's on fire, your tutorial's broken, and your daily challenge softlock half the player base. And instead of owning mess, you lock down ladder and blame folks screaming from test servers. Let me explain these in words even Jays can grasp. QA don't make design calls. QA don't approve skippable builds. QA doesn't set server thresholds or choose to release a feature that wrecks challenge tracking across 3 platforms. QA logs bugs, they wave flags, they send reports. Those reports get ignored? That's on production. That's on leads. That's whoever it published with 38 known issues in red font. So when Jays tried to smear QA team, he didn't just miss point, he proved it. Because note screens "I don't understand pipeline" louder than blaming testers for devs pushing through flagged code. You want to know who buried Splitgate 2? Look up, not down. Now let's torch this Fortnite is indie nonsense before it spreads. If Dem 47's indie, then Epic is too. Jesus Christ on a pogo stick. Epic Games, as in Epic Games company that owns Unreal Engine, runs Epic Store, rakes in billions from Fortnite skins, and has Tencent holding 40% of its spine on a filing cabinet somewhere in Shenzhen. That Epic. Not only are they not indie, they're barely Western anymore. The answer to shareholders, to licensing partners, to film studios and ad agencies and legal teams so big they probably have their own canteen. You think Tim Sweeney gets to greenlight a feature without 10 layers of approval? Mate, Fortnite's entire roadmap has to pass through more filters than a Twitch hot tub stream. Being self-published don't mean you're indie. It means you didn't also rent yourself out to EA. You can be a megacorp and self-publish. Don't change fact your game decisions are dictated by graphs, not guts. 1047 answers to themselves. Epic answers to markets. That's difference. Calling Epic indie is like calling Tesco a corner shop because it has self-checkouts. It's delusion with extra steps. So I ended it. No eat, no grandstanding, just truth. I laid it out in simple terms, like explaining to your nan why a TV remote's not voice activated. Here's real kicker. Most people don't understand terms AAA, AA and indie. Don't know what hell they mean. They think AAA means shiny graphics and motion blur that makes your nan dizzy. They think indie means pixel art, bad menus, and Twitter thread crying about burnout. So here's real breakdown. AAA means publisher owned, controlled, you answer to corporate parent, you release when they say, you build what they tell you, you lose your vision second it conflicts with marketing department. AA usually means mid-sized, semi-autonomous. You might have some funding freedom, might still answer to a publisher, but you're not buried under marketing mandates just yet. You're walking dead of development. Too big to be indie, too controlled to be free. Indie means full ownership. No publisher, no outside creative leash. You fund it, build it, release it. Whether that means 5 people or 500, don't matter. You answer to no one but yourself and your players, you're indie. That's it. So no, Jays, size don't matter. Budget don't matter. Ownership is all that counts. That's what defines chain around your neck, or lack thereof. So next time someone tries to rewrite definition of indie because they don't like that a game had polish, you'll know better. And hopefully they'll learn to take L before it comes a thread like this. Join Discord, follow on X, consider a channel membership if you like your game dev truth with a shot of fireball. Smash like it, subscribe, drop your comments and questions below if you've ever seen a dev lose an argument in real time. And I'll see you next time, you magnificent